Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at Mad World Tarot. It's hard to believe we're already in April. It's the 1st of April as I'm doing this reading. The mad month of March is behind us, but the scented barley scandal is not behind us or Harry and Meghan. It's still looming large, at least in the Daily Mail. And today's topic is about flying monkeys, because quite a few have been sent out. In this first reading, we're going to look at one that was sent out by Harry, his friend from Eton, Alex Rayner. Well, they weren't together at Eton. Alex Rayner is a little bit older than Harry, but he is described as an old Eatonian, which I guess is meant to intimidate us and put us peasants in our places. But this fellow, Alex Rayner, has come out in defense of Harry and Meghan, and he tells us that that Harry, or H as he describes Harry, H, and I'm quoting, is very happy for me to speak for him about how he feels. And this is the infamous article in which Harry is described as feeling as if he's had a finger cut off. Now, some people are saying that Harry's had more than just a finger cut off when it comes to body parts. So, but Rayner goes on to say that he believes the Sophie Chanduka accusations of bullying and racism and all the rest of it spring from jealousy of Meghan Markle. And I'm quoting again, it feels like she, Sophie, had her nose put out of joint because she was not the most important woman of colour on the stage. This is this whole polo debacle. There is an undercurrent of stink here because Meghan showed up, and the stink, is coming from Sophie Chanduka. That is what Harry's friend had to say on behalf of H to the Daily Mail. So I'm reading now. I'm kind of doing a bit of a psychological deep dive in this reading. Does Harry really believe that Meghan is innocent? Can he not see that she is the problem? I think we can all see that Meghan is the problem. The only one that seems blind to the truth of the situation is Harry. So I have the Soulless Tarot on the tarot table. I have to remind you it's tarot and it's just entertainment and it's just my opinion and it's just an energy reading, and there is a disclaimer in the box below, and I'm not a psychologist and I'm not diagnosing or anything like that. I'm doing this reading for fun and to explore what's going on here. If Harry can send a friend out, an old Eatonian, to the Daily Mail to basically accuse Dr. Sophie Chanduka of being jealous of Meghan Markle because Meghan Markle was more important, Duchess of Sussex, more important than Sophie Chanduka, then maybe there's no hope for Harry. I've long thought there is no hope for Harry, but maybe he will never ever be able to see the reality of the situation, the reality of what he's married. So we're going to do a reading and we're going to look at the state of the marriage. We're going to ask, does Harry regret it at any level? We're going to ask what he thought of Meghan when he first met her, what he thinks now. We're going to ask who Harry blames for that polo fiasco. Does he blame Sophie Chanduka? Does he blame his wife Meghan Markle, who calls him H? And then we're going to ask how much Harry needs Meghan, how much he fears Meghan, just because we can with tarot read that kind of energy for entertainment purposes, really. And then we're going to ask if Harry will ever see the situation clearly and truly, to the extent that he will be able to leave her. And I've said my piece about, this is tarot. So let's see what the Soulless Tarot has to tell us about the situation, because it does look rather toxic to me, in my inexpert opinion. We've got the Seven of Cups as our underlying energy. It's the Delusional card. It's not seeing things clearly. It's thinking things operate quite differently than they do in reality. It's Neptunian energy, it's foggy, misty, self-denial going on, a lot of delusion going on in that card, a lot of believing that you have all kinds of treasures and possibilities and opportunities ahead of you, whereas actually you've used them all up. And so I think there we already have some quite strong indication of Harry's mental state and his view of this marriage. Interesting, because it does swing, it goes round and round. Some days divorce seems imminent, some days no, they're forever, they're together forever. Our situation we're dealing with is this Knight of Wands in reverse. This is player energy. This is being quite volatile, quite it's usually, I would say, it's Harry energy, the Knight of Wands, because it's red-headed, it's fire sign. He comes across as fiery, bad-tempered, erratic, volatile. That's the worst aspect of the Knight of Wands. He's also quite a philanderer. Just by the way, I don't think that's relevant here. Might be relevant in other contexts, of course, when reading on the Ginger Winger. Just saying, there are rumours going around at this time, but that energy is actually also, I think, this Alex Rayner guy, the one that's coming out in defense of Harry. Harry's energy is in reverse. He's the one who's in disgrace. He doesn't seem able to come out himself personally and do anything useful since his attack in the Times, which really kicked off this whole saga. And so sent someone out to do the dirty work for him. And that's giving me that Knight of Wands energy in reverse. It's not upfront. It is just getting someone else to do the dirty work for you. I think that's quite plainly how I am going to read the energy of that Knight of Wands. Of course, just my opinion. So let's look at the state of the marriage right now. Perhaps this drama has brought them together. And, you know, the little lovebirds in that little love nest in Montecito, how are they? Well, the Tower, but it's in reverse. This has caused them to actually come together. The Tower is calamity, is shock, is disaster, is divorce when it's upright. In reverse, trying to rebuild after a calamity. They could really right now be being forced into each other's arms, back into each other's arms, because they literally have no one else. She's floundering with this disastrous launch of her not jam, her spread. Could get quite crass there, but I won't. He's got no one and nothing. He's lost his cousin Eugenie. He's lost Centibali. What does he have? He has only herself. That is the Tower in reverse. As everything comes crashing down around them, the two of them are forced to be dependent on each other and think, okay, well, we just have to stick it out together because we don't have any alternative. We're going to rebuild our brand. We're going to rebuild our lives. We have to do it together. That's how that card is reading for me. Does he regret his marriage? I'm asking because I'm allowed to for fun. Of course, just reading cards. Oh, yes. The Lovers in reverse. That's divorce. That's split. I think basically can't stand her. I would imagine the feeling is mutual at this point. We're going to check it again further on in this reading and try and get some clarity of what's going on in this, in my opinion, incredibly toxic relationship. Someone wrote an article for the Daily Mail about how Harry is the ultimate flying monkey for Meghan and doesn't realize it. It was quite an insightful article. I think it was Nadine Dorries. It's in the Daily Mail. As I say, quite insightful on the theme of flying monkeys, which is what set me off on this trajectory today. So Lovers in reverse, bad choice. Literally what it means. Upright, good choice. In reverse, bad choice. Wish I'd never met her. I wish we could split up, but now we can't because the whole place is burning down, falling down, and we have to shore it up somehow. Only way we can is to make a little appearance in that porch at Montecito. Now, I saw that in a reading recently. Harry has done one of those pop-up spontaneous video things in that porch at Mudslide Mansion, but for Travelist. I thought he might do some sort of apology type of thing in that porch. I could vividly see him in that porch. But lo and behold, he's promoting Travelist. Centre Bali? What? Centre Bali? No, Centre Bali. Oh, it's all fine. Yeah, okay. So let's look at how he felt about Meghan when he first met her. What did he think of her? Four of Swords. That's a terrible card for meeting your lady love, your wife to be. Four of Swords. He was in a very bad way. When he met her, he was feeling unwell. It's a card of illness, the Four of Swords. Sorry for the dog that's barking madly next door, the little puppy. He was down and out, Four of Swords. He was feeling quite ruined, probably quite ill, depressed, even with that Four of Swords, wanting to give up, wanting to retire from the public eye, wanting to go and live in Africa and do all of that stuff, not be a working royal. He was damaged, very severely damaged when he met her. So this is not, I'm meeting my one true love. This is, I'm in a very bad way, which might explain a whole lot of things. So I'm going to move on. I was going to pause and take a break while the barking happened, but no, we'll carry on. How does he feel about her now? And we've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. That's the 7 years of bad luck. The Seven of Pentacles. Someone was talking about the 7 years of feast and 7 years of famine in the Bible today. And yeah, we've got it here. The seven of Pentacles is harvest card, is a good investment when it's upright. When it's in reverse, it's a very bad investment. You lose more than you gain. You're looking at it and thinking, well, I really picked the wrong horse. I backed the wrong horse there. And oh dear, what a disaster. Okay, we had to have a little pause after all. So Seven of Pentacles in reverse, a waste of time, a waste of 7 years. 7 years of bad luck, basically. Then we're going to ask how Harry apportions blame on that fateful day in Florida at the polo, on the podium that has led to all this drama, which is now claimed to be because Dr. Sophie Chanduka is jealous of Meghan Markle. She's a more important woman of colour than Sophie Chanduka. So how does Harry see the two women's behaviour on the day? Is he that deluded that he believes it was all Sophie Chanduka's jealousy and Meghan was blameless? His view of Sophie Chanduka's behaviour on the day. I've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. That is, he doesn't like it. You could read jealousy in there. In the Knight of Cups, jealous of the attention, wanting to sidle up to the Knight of Cups, wanting to sort of make googly eyes at somebody, and not being able to, being pushed out of the way, nose out of joint. Knight of Cups in reverse can read like that for me, because it is about sort of schmoozing and being fond of someone and wanting all the attention and all the love and all the adoration and the admiration and whatever, but being in reverse. So he, I think, has been persuaded, I wonder by whom, that Sophie was just jealous that the more beautiful Duchess arrived and kissed Harry and took all the attention away from Sophie Chanduka. That's how I'm reading that Knight of Cups in reverse. It is my opinion. How does Harry see Meghan's behaviour on the day? Of course, everybody has analysed that little video clip to death. How does Harry see the situation? And I've got the 10 of Wands in reverse, which is all manner of trouble that you just can't deal with anymore. That's interesting. It tells me that he just doesn't know how to cope with Megan. He doesn't know how to handle her. She has become such a burden in his life that he would like to put it down. He'd like to walk away. I'm getting that energy. I've got the Lovers in reverse. I've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. He realizes he made a bad choice. He realizes he's backed the wrong horse, invested in the wrong things. It's brought him 7 years of bad luck, literally since the wedding. He realizes that she is a terrible burden that he is carrying by himself and that he really needs to put down and let go. Why hasn't he? We're going to move on. So I do think he believes this narrative, unfortunately, that Sophie was jealous. I do think he's fallen for that. And I think that comes from his own ego. And it's an ego boost for him. Oh, you're so handsome. Oh, you're so gorgeous. You're a prince of the realm. Of course she was jealous. I think he believes that, but I think he also sees Megan's behavior as just troubling all the time, because 10s are maximum. They've reached culmination, they've reached conclusion energy, and it needs to stop, but I don't know how to stop it. So that's that. Okay, why is he still enthralled to her then if she's such bad news? And all these cards tell me she's bad news. Even the Tower tells me she's bad news. So what? How bad is the need for her? How serious is the need for her to be mummy and to tell him what to do and all this stuff? And I've got 5 of Pentacles and it's in reverse. She led him away from the royal family. That's 5 of Pentacles, the outcast exile card. If he doesn't have her in this exile, then he has nothing. It's giving me this lack mentality, this I'm all by myself, I could sing that song. And he needs her to provide shelter, comfort, warmth, security, money, mental strength, because he himself is so incapable of providing those things for himself. She is his only resource at this point. He needs comfort because the card is in reverse. She is his only comfort, his only access to comfort. He can't go back to the royal family. He's been cast out. He cast himself out with her. And so he's got to stick with her. That's how I'm reading it. It's very similar. It's not quite so serious as the Tower in reverse, but it's similar. It's a harsh card, the 5 of Pentacles. It's one of the shocker cards of the Tarot. Just saying, as an energy reader, that's how it works for me. So we've talked about his need for her. How desperate is he? How afraid is he of her? That's a question that I want to know. We're looking at the complexities of it. The Hermit in reverse. She has utterly reduced him to nothing. H. That's his card. It's his major arcana. The Hermit, Virgo card, it's in reverse. She's reduced him to a shadow of himself. That's my opinion. I'm reading energy. I'm doing this kind of deep dive into what he understands about her and her culpability in this whole Centre Bali scandal and everything else that's going on in his life. He does see it to a certain extent, but his own insecurity and his own lack of any sense of self-worth right now dominates. That's how I'm seeing this situation. Again, I'm not an expert and I'm reading tarot cards for entertainment purposes and expressing my opinion. But there he is, Hermit in reverse. He's lost his own guidance, his own inner sort of true north, because that's what the Hermit is all about. It's your own voice that you listen to, your own guiding system, your own wisdom, your own truth. And he's lost it. I don't think he ever really had it, which is how we get to this 4 of Swords, of how he felt when he first met her. I was asking about her, but the answer that came was not about Megan. It was his own disaster. He was in a very dangerous place, a very vulnerable place, a very wounded place. And she's taken his own wisdom away from him, his own sense of self away from him. It's pretty scary. Will he ever be able to free himself from her, see her for what she is? He does see her for what she is, but his own inadequacy, his own need, his own fear, and I do think there is fear in that Hermit in reverse, is stronger still. Will he ever escape? I've got the Ten of Cups in reverse. It could swing either way with this, because this is the happy ever after, the Ten of Cups, when it's upright, emotional completion, security, feeling very fulfilled, and it's in reverse. So most likely he will leave, because that Ten of Cups is so unfulfilling. It's so false. It's so toxic. But there is just a little bit of energy in there still that says he might stay, even though it's that bad. A relationship can't get worse than 10 cups in reverse. That it's that bad, but still his fear, his insecurity, his weakness, his loneliness, his exile is going to drive him to stay and try and rebuild that relationship that tower has already brought down. And the tower is a divorce card. It tells me simply that divorce has been on the cards, on the table for a long time, but it's being held off for now because of this disaster that has befallen. That's the reading, with some accompaniment from Daisy, the puppy next door. Sorry about that again. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.